Hello and greetings again to the next video in my series Planet Defender. And today I want to show you the different types of cards that are existing in the current game. First of all, I want to start with ability cards because this card type is the same for both factions as well as the Opanosh and the Chopper. You see, the ability card has the name Fähigkeit, in English it will be ability, and it has cost, and in the chopper, not cost, time, and by the chopper lava cost, and at the Opranosh crystal costs. Most of the abilities don't do anything with the four main attributes. There are some abilities who add maybe new attack patterns or defense stuff to the warrior or swarm. One thing that is important to say, I think I explained it in one of the last videos. The amount of abilities a swarm or a warrior can use is depending from the gene pool at the swarms and the intelligence at the warriors. Because all abilities are all different abilities, that is, I have to specify. When you learn an ability multiple times, it is put together and will be stronger. It's only the different abilities. They are counted as they were printed on the cards. So, for example, you have a swarm with gene pool 2 and you learn 3 abilities, then this swarm can only use the top 2 abilities. The third ability will be locked for them until it gains somehow an additional gene pool. And that's important because the abilities, once learned, they cannot be moved around in the order they come, they will be served. So then the next card, as I go further with the chopper cards, the next card types are Motherships. Motherships are the chopper main card. If they lost all the cards in the evolution pile, the deck, then they are destroyed and lost the game. With Motherships, it behaves that the swarm size tells you how many swarms they can have on the planet on the same time. The movement points are, I explained it I think in the video where I explained the structure of the cards. The movement points tells you how far it can move per turn. The gene pool, of course, how many abilities the mothership can learn, and I think I will link the maximum deck size to the gene pool too, but this is work in progress. And last but not least, the terror value. It tells you how much morale a warrior loses when he got attacked by this card. Then motherships behave with the attack different than swarms. They have, like warriors or commanders, a fixed amount of attack bonus and damage type that they deal, and of course, like every warrior, mothership, swarm, commander, stealth, dodge, and armor. And of course an ability, sometimes I hope, a very strong ability, but not too overpowered. This is to determine in test games. The next chopper card and the last card type that the choppers have are swarms, and I see that I forgot mutations. Yes, this is, we will one moment. So, ich bin zurück, I'm back. I just redo the PDF document to fit in the last card type 2. Okay, swarms. Swarms have an amount of time they have to get breeded, larva costs, swarm size, that means when it is finally breeded, how many units of the swarm are in the swarm to start with, and of course movement speed, gene pool as explained, and terror. What makes swarms different to all other cards is that they have an attack bonus and a multiplication star. That means the attack bonus is multiplicated, yes, my wife nicks, so yes, with the amount of units in the swarm. That means many units, high attack bonus. 1 unit left, of course, 1 unit of a swarm can't do anything alone. And defense things like stealth, dodge, and armor, they are used not multiplied with the units of the swarm. It is just when all 3 defense values are overcome, the swarm loses 1 unit, gaining 1 damage. The last card for the choppers are mutations. Mutations can give the swarm special abilities, special skills, new values, attack things. Just yeah, they're just a little boost for the swarms. And some mutations can be placed on warriors too under special circumstances. This will be explained on the cards that they can do this. Yes, mutations can change as all values. Some give passive bonuses and stuff. Yeah. Then the next card, now we go to the Opanosh. The next card type are commanders. Commanders and warriors, like the Mothership, commanders have no time and crystal costs, but they have, like warriors, they have an amount of wounds they can take. When the amount of wounds on the warrior is equals or larger than the amount of wound endurance they can take, then of course it dies, and that commander means the player lost the game. The endurance is important too for the fatigue tokens. If the wounds and fatigue tokens is higher than the number of endurance he has, the commander and the warrior can't be activated anymore. Then dexterity, used for pilots, for engineers and medics to determine how strong their ability to do stuff is. Maybe I do it for the traumas too, but let's see. Intelligence, of course, as explained at the abilities, how much abilities a warrior can learn. And the same as in Mothership, the gene pool, I maybe do the deck size, the maximum deck size will be linked to the intelligence. And morale, how high the chances are to gain a second activation after the first one. But this will be explained in another video. And of course the attack bonus, damage type, and the 3 different defense values. Stealth, dodge, and attack. The next card type will be warriors. There is nothing much to say. It's literally the same as commanders, but with the only difference that you can do warriors, you can have as much copies of the same warrior in your deck as you want. And they have to be summoned on the field. The next card type are ships. The most ships will have only an endurance value, because the dexterity, intelligence, and morale will be used from the warrior who is controlling the ship. And what makes ships special is that the warriors who controlling the ship can fulfill maneuvers when they get activated and use the fatigue token sprinted. You see here the L on the card type. The L means it's a legendary card. Legendary cards can be only one copy in the deck at the same time. And most legendary cards in the current state, all legendary cards have the ability to gain the start keyword when the corresponding commander is controlling the deck. So in this case, the battleship, when you play as a VIA, you start with this card in game. Yeah. Otherwise you would have to shuffle it into your deck, draw it, and summon it as normal. Okay, the next card type are equipment cards. Equipment cards often give passive boni or special abilities, or new attack patterns, or defense, erase the defense abilities, and so on. And they often have a second card type, sub card type too, like defense, offense, or anything else. The next card type are buildings. Buildings, of course, are stationary. They can't be moved around, but they have often high armor and a high duration, so it's hard to get rid of them. Yeah, and the shown card here, the command center, has the start ability from the beginning, so the up to 3 commanders start in the command center. The next card type are cybernetic cards. Cybernetic cards are like mutations. They will be attached to a warrior and cannot be removed, but give special abilities to this warrior. And when you install the same cybernetic card multiple times on the same warrior, the effect will stack up and get stronger and stronger. As you see here, T1 means tech level 1, a bonus from 1, tech level 2 from 2 bonus, but tech level 3 a bonus of 4. Maybe I will raise this amount, but it's just to show it to you. The next card type are tattoos. Tattoos are like cybernetics or mutations. They will be placed on a warrior, can't be removed, and give passive abilities, bonuses, and stuff. And to summon the tattoos, you have to a room tool. It's a specific ability that only one faction at the Open-Osh have. Then we have robots. Robots are mostly expensive and follow a specific pattern and routine. They always have a priority where they have to move next and a routine what they do. In this case, the crawler, first he attacks, then he moves according to the priority and attack of the according to priority 2, of course, and then he has a third action, either attack or movement. The player can choose it. So, and the last card in this is the terrain card. I explained it in the first video in this series. Terrains have starting animals and starting plants. If all plants are destroyed, of course the terrain will be devastated. They have an attack bonus on day and an attack bonus or malus at night. And the animals have specific melee range attack and defense abilities as long as it is on this card. Yeah, so far from my side. Let's see if I find something else. No, I think this was it from my side. I say thank you for watching. If you have questions, as always, put them into the comment section. I will answer it as soon as possible, and hope we see us in the next video again. Thank you, bye bye.